The return of Salmon Run in Splatoon 3 has been receiving quite a bit of criticism, mostly because it appears similar to Splatoon 2 Salmon Run, and it still uses the same formula and is still the same mode. A lot of people are saying something along the lines of, why is Salmon Run back? It looks the same as Splatoon 2 Salmon Run. This should have just been a DLC. Why would I pay $60 to play what I already own? But my point is, why would I buy Splatoon 3 if I'm still going to play Splatoon 2? Some people claim that Splatoon 3 is lazy for just throwing some new things into existing features and selling it off as new, but there is more to Salmon Run Next Wave than people think. I'm going to break down this video down into 5 sections on why the mode is actually really good in Splatoon 3, and it was a good move by Nintendo to bring it back. But first, quick disclaimer, I will not be talking about Little Buddy lore and how this makes sense.
A few moments later.
But anyway, let's get started. I cannot stress enough how foolish and dim-witted it would have been to leave Salmon Run behind. There should be absolutely no reason to play Splatoon 2 when Splatoon 3 comes out. And with everything we know about Splatoon 3, this is true. This would not be true if Salmon Run would have been left behind. If Salmon Run were left behind, many hardcores would still play Splatoon 2 instead of Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 would sell much better if it had new things along with old things, bringing in new and old fans. Most people don't know that there is an entire Salmon Run community who play the mode in a way called overfishing. Overfishing is trying to get as many eggs as possible at the maximum difficulty. Many overfishing rounds get hundreds of eggs. So if Salmon Run would have been left behind or drastically changed, an entire part of the Splatoon community would still be playing Splatoon 2 instead of Splatoon 3. I personally am not an overfisher, but just about a third of my Splatoon sessions are spent at Grizzco, so I would be playing Splatoon 2 30% of the time instead of Splatoon 3. But since Salmon Run is back and better than ever, Splatoon 3 isn't lacking content that Splatoon 2 had to offer, so there won't be any reason to play Splatoon 2 once Splatoon 3 comes out. I don't understand what is bad about Splatoon 2 having no advantage over Splatoon 3. If everyone were to buy the game, then it should have new things and returning fan-favorite features to bring back hardcore fans. Splatoon 3 should bring new people to the fan base, not split old and new fans between two games. Nintendo added way more stuff to Salmon Run than a lot of people think. Here is everything new that we know of, and I am absolutely certain that we do not know everything. We know of 1 new map, 2 new bosses, what is probably an event boss. Snatchers can fly around, you can dodge around in squid form, you can surge up walls, you can pass eggs to teammates, you can throw eggs into the basket. Night waves are probably pitch black, fog waves are probably completely clouded. New main weapons, new special weapons, new outfits, new music, updated HUD, updated ink tank HUD, new weapon balances, better graphics, helicopters instead of boats, and you can walk around inside the Grizzco hub. I know this because this official image of Grizzco Industries shows that the bonus stand is indoors, next to Mr. Grizz. Salmon Run Next Wave is mostly focusing on improving itself instead of changing itself. It's making the mode funner, better, more balanced, and overall greatly improved. Speaking in terms of balance, the mode seems to be much better. Splatoon 2 Salmon Run had poor balancing because of overall boss and salmonoid design. All the old bosses except Moz and Flyfish are mostly just shot at, making weapons with high DPS really good. Cross this with the Chums, Cohawks, and Small Fry, who are just hordes you need to kill. Weapons such as the Splashomatic, with high DPS and rate of fire, are very strong. This leaves weapons with good painting and poor damage, such as the Inkbrush and Aerospray, less than ideal. But the two new bosses change this. They revolve around paint. The fish stick spreads paint around the map. The best way to defeat it is to climb up the tower and shoot the small fry. So weapons that are good at painting can very rapidly climb up the tower, and the high spread will destroy the small fry really fast. This boss also makes long-range blasters really good. They can theoretically skip climbing the tower and simply shoot upwards. The burst of the shots will kill the fish stick. Then when the boss is killed, the tower stays on the map. This little camping spot can help Chargers, X-Splashers, and Hydra Splatlings out, which were previously heavily outclassed by mid to long-range shooters due to the inferior movement and DPS consistency. Yes, Chargers can be good, same with Splatlings, especially Ballpoint and Squiffer, but if Salmonoids get close and you can't charge, you'll probably find yourself relying off of Splat Bombs and teammates to kill common Salmonoids. Other backline weapons such as the Jet Sculptor still have potential in close range, leading to non-shooter backlines being outclassed. But with the fish stick's existence, Chargers, X-Splashers, and Hydras can camp safely, get better shot angles, and are much better simply because
I have the high ground!
This boss heavily improves many weapon types. Then we have the Flipper Flopper. To defeat this boss, you need to paint a spot zone within a short amount of time. So obviously, paint-heavy weapons are best at killing this boss. The two new bosses do not require high damage output at all, simply good spread and painting power, two weapon features that were previously not very good. The fish stick also gives good locations to backlines. These two new bosses change up weapon rankings and bring new weapons into the light. So in Splatoon 2 Salmon Run, you will want a weapon with good damage output in order to kill bosses and Salmonoids effectively. The only exceptions would be Moz and Flyfish, which of course you use bombs in order to kill. But in Splatoon 3, most weapons will work well, as painting and backlines are much better since the two new bosses give them much more potential. Next, we have Egg Throw. Egg Throw drastically changes movement patterns and strategy. It also depletes around a third of the ink tank, therefore making egg yeets technical. You can also pass eggs to teammates, making good positioning and team coordination very important. Combine this with Squid Roll and Squid Surge, movement in Splatoon 3 Salmon Run will be very different and improved. Night waves will probably feel very different because lampposts are spread throughout the new map. The little headlamps on the players will likely turn on, and the Flipper Flopper's helmet has a searchlight with glowing eyes. Night modes will probably be pitch black, fog waves will probably be completely clouded, and all you can see are your teammates' lights along with lampposts and Flipper Floppers. Why would there be so many types of lights in Salmon Run Next Wave if the night and fog waves were the same? These hypothetical changes will definitely be very cool and frightening. So with better mode balance, slightly altered gameplay, and better overall game flow, Salmon Run will be much funner and much better than ever before. A lot of people are saying that Splatoon 3 Salmon Run could very easily be a Splatoon 2 DLC. The problem is that making Salmon Run Next Wave a DLC for Splatoon 2 instead of a Splatoon 3 mode is that this would lead to the issues specified in the first section of the video. Making it a DLC for Splatoon 2 would cause even more problems when it comes to Split's player base. If Splatoon 2 receives a massive DLC close to Splatoon 3's release date, brand new players would jump into Splatoon 2 instead of waiting for Splatoon 3. Splatoon 2 fans would also probably wait a while before buying Splatoon 3, because they have new stuff in Splatoon 2 and just spent their hard-earned cash on Splatoon 2. Just think about it. If Splatoon 2 is getting brand new stuff, and you just spent some more cash on it, why would you pay $60 for Splatoon 3 when Splatoon 2 feels new again and you already own Splatoon 2? Splatoon 3 would probably sell badly at launch if Splatoon 2 receives DLC and updates mere months before Splatoon 3's release. Overall, Splatoon 3 is reworking Salmon Run to perfect it and improve it. Splatoon 2 Salmon Run was already very good, but it was really hit or miss when it came to people playing it. Some people play it more, or just as much as Ranked and Turf War. Others play it occasionally. Many don't play it at all. But with the improvements that make the mode more fun in Splatoon 3, I can very easily see more people playing the mode. So why not make the mode really good instead of changing it? It's not like Salmon Run has been around for a decade and is drastically in need of a rework. Salmon Run Next Wave is new and different enough to where people who previously didn't like Salmon Run will like it in Splatoon 3. And it's similar enough to where it won't ruin itself for hardcore players. As I have said before, if you're going to pay $60 for Splatoon 3, then you shouldn't have any reason to play Splatoon 2 anymore. Since all of Splatoon 2's major features are back, my point is true. And most importantly of all, we don't know everything about Splatoon 3 Salmon Run. We don't know about the event waves, we don't know about the difficulty settings, we don't know about the new specials that can be used. There is certainly more than one new map. The King Salmonoid is obviously a huge change and addition, and the list just goes on. We cannot fairly judge the mode off of a single trailer that did a poor job of showing off new stuff and did not reveal everything. Also remember, Nintendo is being very secretive about Splatoon 3. Who says that there isn't a brand new co-op mode alongside Salmon Run, or a different style of Salmon Run? Salmon Run is just a side mode in the first place. It's not like Splatoon 3 revolves around Salmon Run, so if you don't like it, just don't play it. You don't have to hate it. But I hope that my video helped you see that Salmon Run Next Wave is very good, and should be in Splatoon 3 instead of being a Splatoon 2 DLC. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please excuse its possibly poor quality, as this is my first ever YouTube video that isn't just a quick little Splatoon 2 gameplay clip. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, as I would like to get 1,000 subscribers by the time Splatoon 3 comes out. My channel will consist of videos like this one, which are Splatoon analysis videos, along with short videos about funny moments and good plays. I will upload weekly at the very least. If I get enough subscribers and viewers, I might stream someday. Please be respectful and use kid-friendly speech in the comment section, and I will see all of you in another video.